Daily rituals for mental clarity. Imagine waking up every morning feeling refreshed, focused, and ready to take on the day. Sounds impossible. Meet Emma, a busy marketing executive who was once stuck in a cycle of stress and burnout until she discovered the secret to achieving mental clarity. Emma's story is one of transformation, and it is a journey that will resonate with anyone who has ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of modern life. For Emma, the cycle of stress and burnout was a familiar pattern. She'd wake up each morning, feeling anxious and uncertain about the day ahead. The constant stream of notifications on her phone, the endless emails, and the pressure to meet deadlines had taken a toll on her mental health. She felt like she was running on a hamster wheel, but getting nowhere. Every day was a struggle to stay on top of her workload, and by the end of the day, she'd be exhausted, but still feeling like she hadn't accomplished anything. As she navigated her daily routine, Emma found herself constantly distracted. She'd scroll through social media, watch YouTube videos, and get caught up in the latest gossip. But these fleeting moments of escapism only served to further erode her mental clarity. She felt like she was losing herself in the process, and the sense of overwhelm was suffocating her. Emma's routine was a juggling act, with too many balls in the air, and she was struggling to keep them all in motion. But Emma's life wasn't always like this. As a child, she was a curious and adventurous person, always eager to learn and explore the world around her. She loved nothing more than spending time in nature, watching the sunsets, and feeling the breeze on her face. But as she grew older, the demands of school, work, and social expectations began to take their toll. The pressure to succeed, the fear of failure, and the constant need to perform had slowly eroded her sense of curiosity and wonder. Emma had lost touch with a part of herself that loved to explore and learn. It was during this period of burnout that Emma stumbled upon the concept of meditation. She'd always been skeptical of the idea, thinking it was something only hippies and New Age gurus practiced. But as she delved deeper into the world of mindfulness, she began to understand the profound impact it could have on both body and mind. She started with just 5 minutes a day, sitting quietly in her living room, focusing on her breath, and letting go of her thoughts. It was a simple yet powerful ritual that would change the course of her life. As Emma continued to practice meditation, she began to notice a significant shift in her mental clarity and focus. She felt more centered, more agground, and more able to tackle the challenges of her day with confidence. She'd always been a productive person, but now she felt like she was achieving her goals with ease, and the sense of satisfaction that came with each accomplishment was incredibly rewarding. The hamster wheel of stress and burnout had finally stopped, and Emma felt like she was moving forward with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. One of the most surprising benefits of Emma's meditation practice was the development of self. She began to recognize the patterns of her thoughts, the emotions that drove her behavior, and the physical sensations that accompanied each moment of stress and anxiety. This newfound awareness allowed her to manage her emotions more effectively, making her more resilient to the demands of her job and the pressures of modern life. Emma was no longer a slave to her emotions, but rather, she was in control, making conscious choices that aligned with her values and goals. As Emma continued on her journey of mental clarity, she began to explore other practices that complemented her meditation routine. She started taking long walks in nature, practicing yoga, and engaging in activities that brought her joy and fulfillment. The more she focused on her well-being, the more she felt like herself. The fog of stress and burnout had lifted, and Emma was finally able to see the world around her with clarity and purpose. For Emma, the journey to mental clarity was not a destination, but a continuous process. She still faced challenges and setbacks, but now she was equipped with the tools to navigate them with ease. Her story is a testament to the power of mindfulness and the importance of taking care of oneself in a world that often values productivity over well-being. Emma's journey is a reminder that mental clarity is not just a luxury, but a necessity for living a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. You may be wondering what exactly Emma did differently to achieve mental clarity. Let's dive deeper into her story and explore the concept of mindfulness. For Emma, mindfulness wasn't just about finding inner peace in a quiet meditation room. It was about being present in the moment, letting go of distractions, and focusing on her breath. At first, this might sound like a simple concept, but for someone like Emma, who was used to juggling multiple tasks at once, it was a radical shift in her mindset. She started by dedicating just a few minutes each day to mindfulness practice. She'd sit comfortably, close her eyes, and bring her attention to her breath. As she did this, she began to notice the subtle sensations in her body, the way her chest rose and fell, with each inhale and exhale. As Emma continued to practice mindfulness, she started to notice how it impacted her relationships and daily tasks. She found herself approaching challenges with greater ease and clarity, able to focus on the present moment without getting bogged down by worries about the future or regrets about the past. Her colleagues and friends noticed a change too. She seemed more patient, more compassionate, and more at peace. But what really struck Emma was how mindfulness allowed her to cultivate a greater sense of gratitude and appreciation for life. By paying attention to her senses, she started to notice the little things, the way the sunlight filtered through the blinds, the sound of birds chirping outside her window, or the smell of freshly brewed coffee in the morning. These small joys added up to a greater sense of contentment and happiness that she had yet experienced before. One day, while walking to work, Emma noticed the way the leaves rustled in the wind. She felt a sense of wonder and awe at the simple beauty of it all. As she continued on her way, she caught herself smiling at the sight of a street performer juggling clubs, or the sound of children laughing in the park. These moments of joy might seem insignificant on their own, but they added up to a greater sense of appreciation and gratitude that Emma had never experienced before. As she continued on her journey, Emma realized that mindfulness wasn't just about finding inner peace. It was also about treating herself with kindness and understanding. When she made mistakes or faced setbacks, she learned to approach them with compassion and self. She started to see that everyone makes mistakes, and that it's okay not to be perfect. This newfound self-compassion had a profound impact on Emma's relationships and daily life. She found herself being more supportive and understanding towards others, and more willing to take on new challenges. As she looked back on her journey, Emma realized that mindfulness had been the key to unlocking a mental clarity. It had allowed her to approach life with greater ease, clarity, and compassion. And as she continued on her path, she knew that she would carry this newfound sense of mindfulness with her, wherever she went. But what about you? Are you ready to unlock the secrets to mental clarity and achieve a more balanced, harmonious life? For Emma, it all began with a radical shift in her mindset. She learned that mental clarity wasn't just about adopting a new technique or habit. It was about adopting a new way of approaching life's challenges. Gone were the days of resistance and fear. Instead, she approached each new day with curiosity and openness, like a blank canvas waiting to be filled with vibrant colors. As Emma navigated the ups and downs of life, she discovered that mental clarity wasn't a destination, it was a journey. She learned to be patient, kind, and compassionate with herself, rather than beating herself up over setbacks. She realized that each failure was an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than a source of shame and regret. And so, she continued to move forward, one step at a time, with a sense of trust and faith in herself. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, Emma's newfound mental clarity began to bear fruit. She found herself achieving her goals with greater ease, building stronger relationships with the people in her life, and living a more authentic, fulfilling existence. She felt more connected to her values and passions, and more at peace with herself and the world around her. And it was all thanks to a simple yet profound shift in her mindset, a shift that she now shares with others, in the hopes of inspiring them to do the same. Emma's story is a testament to the power of daily rituals for mental clarity. By incorporating mindfulness and self-awareness into her daily routine, she was able to achieve a more balanced, harmonious life. But what does this look like in practice? For Emma, it began with a simple morning routine, a quiet time of reflection and meditation, followed by a gentle stretch and a nourishing breakfast. From there, she approached each day with a sense of intention and purpose, tackling challenges with confidence and creativity. And it's this very approach that she now invites you to try for yourself.